Driving through Vienna feels always special to me because it reminds me my big victory on my journey to freedom. So here's the story. When we were driving here for the first time, we had to cross Vienna, and it was so stressful. We are just not used for such a big city and so many cars and so many lines and traffic and everything, and there was no Google Maps back then, so you had just watched the signs. And it was, even though I didn't drive, my husband was driving, but it was still just which direction, watch the signs, while he tried to just manage the traffic. So it was terrifying for me back then. So from then we were driving through Vienna more times in the next year, because if we want to go anywhere, we just had to cross Vienna. So I got used to that, as a navigator, but I always made sure that he will be driving while we will cross Vienna. But then one time we were turning back from vacation, and he was tired. I was driving, and he was like, "Oh my goodness, there's Vienna. Let's change the seats." And he just was like, just go, and I will help you to navigate. So I was sweating. It was so stressful, but I survived. So since then I was not so scared, but it was still challenging. But then one time it was my first solo trip, and I just had to cross Vienna. So I did it. It was for the first time, maybe back in 2012 or 13. And it was so challenging, but all that adrenaline running through my veins. So as I did that, and it was yes, I did that. So since then it was a big victory for me. So since then I was not so scared. But then another level was when we got this big car. I'm not sure if you can see that, but it's 6 meters long. So for the first year as we got this car, I didn't want even to drive that, oh my goodness, it's so big. But then I tried, and again, this excitement and this adrenaline, and yeah, I did it. I survived. So it was another level for me. And then it was next step was my first solo trip in the big car, and again through Vienna. So it was but that trip, it was absolutely crazy. I have to share the story in another video, but yeah, I did that. So since then, always that Vienna is a symbol of freedom for me. Yes, I did it, and it's now I need to okay, I'm good. Yeah, so since then it's for me I crossed that threshold to what seemed impossible before, and I did that. So I was asking okay, so what else that felt impossible before, and maybe if I would try, I would be able to do that. And yeah, this was doors to impossible got wide open.